Welcome to MOOC course on cartographic techniques. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about topographic profile. So, profile it's one of the important thing in cartography. Its the main sources is that contours. Contour, you know that what is the meaning of contour? A line joining the equal elevation on that topographic map. So, from the topography map, we take contour line, we interpret that contour. What is represent that contour actually, either plain topography or plateau or mountain, what that land is covered. This thing we are going to discuss about in the section of profile. So, profile you know that longitude profile, simple, serial, superimposed, composed, this kind of profile we are going to discuss about today. So, what are the skill required for representing the earth surface in cartography? We know as a geographer, as a cartographer, earth is a three-dimensional shapes and geoid shape. When we convert it into two-dimensional, it is a difficult task. So, when the geographer and the cartographer need both scientific understanding and artistic skill, then only a cartographer represent true and accurate map of that surface. So, the challenging of cartographic representation, one is a scientific understanding, second one is the artistic limitation, then third one is the geographic limitation. So, scientific understanding representing the 3D surface of the earth on a map is a difficult task in cartography. Yes, that is one of the difficult understanding of our earth surface, because that is a three-dimensional. So, three-dimensional we portrait as a two-dimensional, we are face some difficulties. So, a cartographer required scientific understanding and artistic skill. So, both is essential for a cartographer. Then artistic limitation, a cartographer have a only artistic idea and artistic skill only, means he make a map that is scientifically incorrect. He can't portray a map, we can't quantify, we can't make a accurately. Therefore, the scientifically that map is incorrect. Geographic limitation, a geographer without artistic skill, a geographer have the without artistic skill may understand the landform, but fail to show them clearly. A geographer have that landform ideas and what is the topography covered, they have full knowledge of that landform, but without artistic idea, then he can't portray, he can't draw a accurate map. So, therefore, we need both scientific skill and aesthetic artistic skill also, then only we can represent three-dimensional earth to two-dimensional surface very clearly. Then essential training area, we want to make a map, we have the skill about that land slope analysis, geomorphological ideas and structural geology and visual arts. We are discussing each and every one. Land slope analysis, you know that land is a completely not plain, it is a something is a mountain, plain, plateau, it is covered, it is like a undulated. So, understanding how terrain slope and changing across the different elevations, we want to understand where the plain is there, mountain is there, plateau is there, what is the coastal area, what is the forest area. This kind of information, either that area is a gentle slope or steep slope, moderate slope, this kind of information we need. Then geomorphology, we know that what is the geomorphology, the study of the landform. The landform, how they change throughout the year, the cycle of the erosion, transportation and deposition, how it occur. So, a geographer, a cartographer, they need that land slope analysis as well as the geomorphological idea, geomorphological knowledge he needs. Then structural geology, if you have the rock, so what is the time scale, when it is a rock formation, different types of rocks. So, this kind of structural knowledge also a cartographer must have. Then visual arts, then these all are the subject knowledge a cartographer have, as well as that they need artistic skill. This is the very essential, that is a final one, to represent terrain feature clearly and accurately. So, you have that land slope analysis and geomorphology and structural geology, this all are the subject knowledge, and simultaneously we need that artistic idea, then only we can portray accurately on real world. Then relief and slope analysis, understanding that area. So, if you want to draw a map on your area or wherever you located, so that area you can make a map means first you want to understanding that area. A geography student must clearly understand the area being studied. What are the if you want to study that area, you can take a topographical informations. So, what is that 1:50,000, the topo sheet is there, the topo sheet what represent, what that area is covered, then you can go with that Google Earth. So, realistic presently what that area is covered, that kind of information we can get it. Then field work, this is only give that accurate information. If you want to make a map, you get a topographic information and understanding that area through the secondary data. Then this is the very important field work collection. Field work help collect the additional and real world information. Field work means a person make a map, he has to go to the field, what is that area is really covered. So, how the changes, they can survey like a pilot method to ask somebody what that area was covered, what is the present now. So, this all are the thing can collected from the field work. Then landform classification, before field study the student should have able to classify landform through the relief and slope analysis. So, that landform is the plain or plateau or mountain. So, either is a coastal topography or mountain topography, this kind of information a cartographer must have. Essential tool for analysis, contour map. So, contour is a accurately represent of that our topography. See, contour map made from accurate topographical map are essential tool. This can be support with other method of relief and slope analysis. So, contour map accurately represent our topography. So, other method also is there, but is a contour line realistic represent of our 3-dimensional earth into the 2-dimensional in topographic maps. So, introduction to the profile. So, why that profile is needed? Because it is a 2-dimensional, it is easily understand our earth surface, what is the really covered. So, this is the easiest method. Then visualization techniques and contour guidance. First one, profile drawing is the easiest way to show different landform. So, profile, if you draw a profile, that is the easiest way, simple to understand student or any layman what is the land is covered, different landform on that area, this thing easiest way to understand, which if you use the profile. Then visualization techniques, there is a complex topography is there, then this area can be imagined as a cut into thin slices, different future we can bifurcate it, we can classify, from that easily we can able to understand that area what is covered really. Then contour guidance, contour line on topographical map are main guide for drawing a profile. So, the major sources contour line, from the contour line we get it what that contour is represent, either is a mountain or plain or valley or which type of elevation. So, contour is a major source of data for profiles. So, in low relief area where contour are, these things we already discussed. So, contour very close means that area is a steep slope, whereas the sparse, the more gap between one contour line between the other contour line means the elevation is a gentle or moderate. Then spot height is that important representation of the height. So, how much height is there in that area. So, these all are the things represent that topographic, real topography, what is that elevations. A systematic arrangement of all profile give a clear visual interpretation of the landform. So, systematic arrangement of all profile. So, we know that n number of profile is there, simple profile, serial profile, composite profile, superimposed profile. These all are the profile you can arrange. From that you could able to understand what is that the area is covered. So, this thing we can get it from that contour. If you interpret the contour through the profile, we can able to understand that all landform of your area. Drawing profile from contour map. Profile made from contour map help to visualize the relief. So, what is the relief user is covered, then what is the land that area, this you can get it from to visualize the profile. Drawing a profile simple and effective for understanding the terrain. Drawing a profile is a simple, very simple and effective way. So, you know that what is a map? Map is easily communicated to the people compared with the text. So, therefore, ultimate purpose, if you make a profile, the student may understand, the cartographer may understand, GIS and remote sensing techniques people they understand. So, drawing a profile is a simple and effective way of communication. What is the land use covered? What is the that land is covered? So, contour map provide the base data for making cross profile. So, contour, if you make a profile, contour is a base data. From the contour data we can interpret and we can say that area is what is covered. Then profile drawing steps, preparation, how to prepare that profile. You know that contour is the very important data to make a profile. We draw a profile from the contour data. So, what are the steps, what are the techniques involved to do a make a profile? So, steps 1, place a strip of a paper along chosen line on the contour map. You see, look at this picture. This picture is a contour line. That contour line represent the elevations. So, you know that first if you like a map, you can trace that contour line from the topo sheet. So, what is that minimum elevation? What is the maximum elevation? So, like that you want to split some section A and B, then B and C, C and D, E and F, G and H, like that you can split it. You can use this piece of paper and from that you can portray even like a cross section. So, this line cross 4000 meter, then this line is a 4100, this line also 4200, then 4400, 4500. This thing represent that much of elevation, a line represent that much of elevation, and also you have to know that what is that interval between the one line and other line. So, 4000, another line is a 4100 meter. So, 100 meter is the interval between the one line and other line. So, this thing is a first it is a very important. Once you get that contour line from the topo sheet, when the makeup profile, this thing we have to understand. Then steps 2, marked all contour crossing. So, look at here, you take a piece of paper where that the contour is a crossing, like a spot height, river, summit and other key point on the paper, where the highest elevation it is cross that piece of paper, you can mark it. So, like you look at that third steps, draw a baseline and length as a profile line on a blank paper. This line is that, for example, you have to make a 10 centimeter line, then you want to here portray that what is the minimum height. For example, 4000 is a minimum height, then 4000, 4100, then 4200, then above, like that you have to increases 4500 or 4600. What is the minimum height? What is the maximum height? So, that is you can represent. Then you have to split that A and B, B and C, D and E, like that you can split based on this figure. So, these are the prime step to draw a profile. Vertical line, you have to make a vertical line like that. Then next step, vertical scale, you have to portray that scale. This is that minimum of the contour line 400 meter, that area maximum is the 4500. that's also make a scale. Then you are use like a the parallel line. This is the step 6, the horizontal line. Draw a parallel horizontal line above the baseline. Which one is the baseline? This is a baseline, this is a baseline, this is a baseline. You can represent the scale here, which means what is that here means the height of the topography. What is the minimum elevation, what is the maximum elevation here. Here is the minimum elevation is a 4000, maximum elevation is the 4500, that is you can represent. Finally, you can draw like that. Then understanding vertical exaggerations. So, scale relationship, the vertical scale is a larger than the horizontal one. So, horizontal one is that is interval, but whereas the vertical one is that elevation. What is the minimum elevation and maximum elevation? Always note the ratio of vertical exaggeration below the profile. So, when we draw that profile, you want to know, you want to get that idea what is that area is the minimum elevation and maximum elevation. Based on that, you can draw a vertical line. Horizontal line where the cross section, that contour where the crosses, how much that different elevation line is there, you are using through the horizontal line, whereas the vertical line exactly represent that what is that altitude from the mean sea level. Then profile drawing step completions. So, transfer point, transfer the all marked contour point. First you are do not draw that exactly that line, you want to like a mark what is that elevation. For example, this is a 4000, this is 3900, like that you can point at its all. Then you want to smoothly draw that, connect the line in freehand, not in the scale. You are just like a freely you can draw. These all are the steps involved to drawing a profile from the contour. So, again I repeat, contour is a major source. You can trace the contour a sheet, from the sheet you can interpret what are that series of mountain is there, how we portray that, how can we understand, how can we convey that into what type of landform covered to the people. So, these all are the steps involved to make a profiles. So, complete a profile. Once you draw a all point, this all point represent that elevation, what is the minimum height, what is the maximum height, like that this all point after is a connected. So, visually that landform is a like a mountain or V shaped valley, that is that different types of landform showed through the profiles. So, lowest contour line you represent here, then highest contour is at above. So, first you traced that in practical way, we can trace from the tracing sheet, you know that contour represent on the topo sheet, from the topo sheet you trace this kind of maps. Then you can make a, this is the x axis, this is the y axis. X axis you can make a interval like that, y axis you are represent that what is that altitude for 4000, 4100, 4200, 4300, like that. Here is a represent the minimum height, this is the maximum height. Okay. Here this area how much is covered, for example, this area is a 13 centimeter, mean this also covered 13 centimeter, or this is a 14 centimeter, means you draw with the scale is a 14 centimeter. Then you have to mark a elevation, for example, this is the 4000 elevation, then 4100, then 4200, 4300, 4500, like that. After you want to connect it, you can say to the people, you can understand what is the realistically the topography is covered. So, first one is a simple profile. So, you take this is a way of the simple profile, how to draw a profile. This is also called that simple profile. Then second one is a serial profile. You look at the real world, there is a series of mountain is there, a series of elevation is different elevation is there. You go to that Western Ghats or Himalaya mountains or other part of the world, wherever the mountain is there, the chain of mountain is there, the parallel of mountain is there. So, this all parallel mountain you draw a single sheet, that is called the serial profile. So, when you go to the cross that this mountain, the parallelly the chain of mountain is located one by one, either north to south or west to east, that is located. The serial profile, draw a parallel line. How to draw a serial profile mean? Draw several parallel line on the map, ensuring all important features are covered. So, parallel line you make that from one area, what are that elevation is covered. So, create interval profile, draw a profile along each line, apply vertical exaggeration, what is the height of that area, what is the minimum height and maximum height, that also you can represent. Vertical exaggeration is often needed to show relief feature clearly, but it should not excessive. This amount exaggeration depend on the map scale and height differences. So, vertical exaggeration you could understand what is the minimum height, what is the maximum height that area is covered, then only you can draw the vertical exaggeration. Over exaggeration also is very wrong. Then and minimum exaggeration, for example, maximum height is a 5000 meter means you can make a 6000 vertical exaggeration, 9000, 10,000 or 12,000 means you can't portray that real world exactly. So, arrange and reference, arrange the all profile in one column represent area one end of the map to the other, include a location map for reference, which means you make a all parallel and series of mountain in a one sheet, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, like that parallelly you portray on a single paper, that is called the serial profile. Look at this figure. So, different elevation is there, one top elevation, then behind the moderate elevation, then low elevation, the sequentially the elevation is differ. So, all elevation we can portray through the serial profile. Look at this figure, A, B is a one kind of mountain is there, one kind of elevation, then C and D, E and F, the different elevation, the parallel of elevation topographic variation is there in the one location, you can draw through the serial profile. See, in the real world this kind of mountain is there. So, this area is a one profile and the other area is a one profile, then the chain of mountain the completely we can draw through the serial profile, what that area is covered within that square kilometer, what is the minimum elevation, what is the maximum elevation, mountain or elevation is a gentle or steep or moderate, this all are the information we can get to know from drawing a profile. Then advanced profile types, other is a that is simple profile, you know, serial profile if no, the superimposed profile is a kind of profile when all profile of a series are traced on a single sheet, they are called the superimposed profile. They show the overlay multiple profile illustrating the landform together. So, the not a single landform, all landform, what are the landform compositely covered in that area, togetherly covered in that area, that we can map through the superimposed profile. Lowering the base of each succeeding profile create a block diagram effect. It is a look like a block diagram effect. Shading can be added, make a diagram look more realistic, showing the true shape of landform. So, different elevation is there, mean you can use different shading. From the shading you can look like a artistic skill, that relief represent the different landform that area is covered. Look here, this is a superimposed profile. First the serial profile, there is a different elevation we can see in that within the one sheet, but here all profile A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H like that all elevation we looked into the within the one diagram, that is called that superimposed profile. See, this is a like a serial profile, you can draw that, but in the superimposed profile I can draw that all elevation within a one diagram, that is called that superimposed profile. Then projected profile, this is a third one. Projected profile are careful overlay of series of profile similar to superimposed profile, but slightly different. Projected profile similar to the superimposed profile, but something is a differ, slightly is a varies. All profile are traced on the single sheet, but portion of hidden and higher land are left untraced or erased. Okay. So, now we can draw, you know that what is a simple profile and serial profile and superimposed profile. Then projected profile, you look at this figure, only that major area is covered, that only we can draw. Look at this superimposed profile, we can erase this area only, this all are the area is a erased, we can finally we can get this kind of profile, that is called that projected profile. Then composite profile, composite profile show only the rugged skyline of an area with the above line only, which one is the top elevation, that only we can show through that composite profile. It represents the surface seen from infinite distance. Infinite distance means you can see somewhere some distance from that area, whatever that highest elevation is, so that elevation only visible through the composite profile. Traced only the uppermost line, uppermost line means what is the top elevation, top spot height, that area, that only we can visible through that composite profile. Step to draw a composite profile, draw a closely based parallel line on the map, plot the highest altitude along the each line on a line at the end of the map perpendicular to the parallel line. Draw the profile connecting this highest point, only the highest point only we can draw, other the lowest point we can erase, that is called that composite profile. Look at here, there is a simple profile, serial profile, superimposed profile, projected profile, we can uniquely differ each and every one. In composite profile we can draw only that which is the highest point, that is covered that all profile, that only we can mark through that composite profiles. So, longitude profile, simple profile, we can draw a river, then road network, what is the elevation, what is the highest elevation, what is the lowest elevation, how the trend of that river is going, how the trend of the road is going, either is a slope or plain, that road we can draw through the longitude profile. Then serial profile, we know that within that one sheet we can represent that all elevation, the series of mountain we can draw through the serial profile. Superimposed profile and composite profile, projected profile, everything we saw that. Then superimposed profile, overlapping landform, that one only we can draw through the superimposed profile. Then composite profile, that highest point, which one is the highest elevation, that only we can show, it is called that composite profile. Projected profile, like a panoramic views, either you look at in one angle, that angle whatever that map shows, what are the elevation we can able to see, that is called that projected profile. So, look at the longitudinal profile, a road network, then river, you can go through, you can draw through the longitude profile, either where is that upper course, what are the landform is covered, in the middle course what are the landform is covered, in lower course what are the landform is covered, this thing we can able to understand through the longitudinal profile. The longitude profile mostly suitable for a river, youth stage, mature stage, old stage, from the starting to delta. what are the landform is covered, what are the elevation that area is covered through the longitudinal profile, or any road network where the road is started, where is the finish, what is the different elevation that road is covered, this thing you go with the longitudinal profile. Look at the serial profile and superimposed profile, projected profile and composite profile. Serial profile, you take a all parallel elevation or sequential elevation and topography, you draw a within the single sheet, that is called that serial profile. Then superimposed profile, this all serial profile you can make, you can draw only one, that is a superimposed profile. Then projected profile, you can erase this, all are the things, then majorly what we can see, that only we call that projected profile. Then composite profile, in all like a superimposed profile, if you take a superimposed profile, which one is the highest elevation, that one only we can draw, means that is a composite profile. So, in this session we are discuss about contour, what are the techniques a cartographer needed, scientific techniques and as well as the artistic, then contour data, the data is the base for the profile making. So, what are the types of profile is there, how to, what are the steps involved to draw the profile, then different types of profile, then use of the profile, this thing everything we discussed today. Thank you.